Okay, so when we go according to this procedure to solve a Boolean function for a given Boolean function using a Quine-McCluskey method is first is arranging the given min terms. There may be it may be either a min terms or max terms. Okay, arranging them in an ascending order. Okay, and on what base we are going to arrange them? On the number of ones. Okay, number of ones in min terms and the number of zeros in max terms, right? Then we were making a groups. Wherever number of one is single, we are making all the terms in a single group. Then we are going to compare each successive groups with another one. Okay, and here we are choosing only one different value, so we are taking these two minterms and making another group, that is step 2. And wherever the single value is going to be deferred, there we are placing a symbol minus. Then again the same thing will be continued with each successive groups for the third step. Okay, and then to formulate the prime implicant table, it consists of set of rows and columns. Okay, out of which we are the prime implicants can be placed in a row wise and minterms can be placed in a column wise. Whatever the minterms that we are getting, from that we are placing the minterms. That is a fourth step that we will discuss from right now only. Okay, here after the third step, first we need to formulate the prime implicants. Formulate means we need to write the expression for that. Okay, and then we need to write the prime implicants in a row wise, and minterms, whatever the minterms has been already given in the problem, that we have to write in a column wise. Okay, so wherever the minterms are there, we need to write 1 in that corresponding cell. How this fourth step is going to work, that we will see now. Okay, okay, let us go for the third step. Okay, I'll come with the example only from the first step. So this is the problem that has been given up here. Okay, so here what is the function? F of w x y z, 4 variable function is there. What are the summation? That is what is the tabular column that we are going to get from this is 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15. So how many minterms that I will get from the truth table? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minterms I will get if generally I write the minterms for each of the cells here, M2, M6, M8, M9, M10. Okay, now I am going to solve this function, this truth table, using the Quine-McCluskey tabular method. So what was the first step? Arranging these minterms, these 8 minterms in an ascending order based upon just a minute. Okay, fine. So these midterms, there are 8 midterms here. I am arranging these 8 midterms in an ascending order. Okay, not according to these numbers. Okay, just find out the binary value of 2. 2 will be 0010, correct? 6 will be 01110. So now here the binary numbers in 2 is 1. The binary number of 1 in 6 are 2. Okay. Now first I will write 2 and then I will write 6. But 8, when I go for 8, 8 is having a single number of 1 in a binary group, 1000. So first what I will do, this 2 and 8. Okay, these two will come first because they are having single number of 1, whereas 6, 9, 10 are having two number of ones. 6 is 110, 9 is 1001, 10 is 1010, whereas all these three minterms are having two number of ones. So I'll make another group here, and then another third group will be having where 11 and 14, right? 11 and 14, which are having three number of ones in the binary group, and 15 is having four number of ones. So this is what the first step. I have to arrange these minterms in a ascending in an ascending order. Okay, and that is based upon the binary numbers which are present in that. That was the first step that we have discussed. Then now compare these groups with a compare these groups with successive group. That is, group 1 will be compared with group 2, and then group 2 will be compared with group 3, group 3 will be compared with group 4, right? So like this. Then I'm going to combine 2 and 6, 2 and 9, 2 and 10. But how to compare? What actually have to be compared here? Here, only one position should be differ. Out of these four binary numbers, what I have here, out of this, when I combine 2 and 6, when I compare minterm 2 and 6, there should be only one position which has to be deferred. Only one position. Okay. Say for an example, the 2 is 0 here, and the 6 is 0. No difference. Now, for the second binary bit, the 2 is 0, the 6 is 1. So now here I have got one difference. 2 is 0, 6 is 1. And again, I'll go for the next bit. 2 is 1, and whereas 6 is also 1. 2 is 0, 6 is 0. So out of these 4 bits, only one bit is going to be deferred. So what I will do now, I will combine these two, 2 and 6. And wherever the deferred value I have got, I will put a minus symbol in that place. Okay, this one already we have discussed in the yesterday's class. So after comparing with all these things, I will get the second step. 2, 6 has been compared here, and we have put a minus marks in the wherever the value has been deferred. Okay, same 2 and 6, 2 and 10, and 2 and, okay, that is it. If I go for 2 and 9, what will happen? Now compare the binary of 2 and 9, the bits of 2 and 9. Now here it is 0, here it is 1. One place deferred, here it is 0, 0, no difference, 1, 0. So now I have got second difference. So what is my actual procedure? Wherever I find, there should be only single difference. Now I have got two difference. So I will not combine 2 and 9. The bits. Here I have got two different bits. That is why I am not going to combine 2 and 9. Then again I will check 2 with 10, right? So it goes on, the same procedure will be carried out for all the minterms with each other with the successive groups. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3 to 4. Then this is the step 2, right? These are the, so one group will be reduced. I will get 3 groups here. Now here, again I'm going to follow up the second step. In the third step, the same thing that I'm going to do in as I did in second step. Okay, 2, 6 is in the group 1, 6, 14 is in the group 2. Now I'm going to compare this binary number and this binary number, right? So wherever there is a single difference, minus should be minus, 0 should be 0, 1 should be 1, and another point should be difference. Then I'm going to combine those minterms. So after this 2, 6, 10, 4, 2, 6, 10, 4, this what I'm going to actually get from this. Now here the minterms are repeatedly written, right? 2, 6, 10, 4 or 2, 10, 6, 14, both are same, right? Even the binary number, the bits are also same. So I am going to merge them. That is, I'm going to write merge. That I'm going to consider only one from this. Okay, here also 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 10, 9, 11. Both are same. See, the value is also same. 1, 0, minus, minus, 1, 0, minus, minus. So I'm going to combine this one. I'm going to pick up only one from out of these two. The same in group 2. So what I will get? 2, 6, 10, 14, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 3 rows I have got. Only 3 rows I have got from these things. Now I'm not able to compare with each other because that is the final. Okay. Now here, this is the fourth step that I'm going to write here. So as I said, in the fourth step, what we are going to do, the minterms what I have got, see, from this row, what are the minterms that I'm going to get from the first row here? 2, 6, 10, 14. Okay. W, there is no W. X, there is no X. Y, Y is 1. So I will write. So from this group, what I will get? Y. Z is 0. It means Z bar. Okay. So from this group, from the second row, what I'm going to get? It is W and X bar. W and X bar. And from the third row, what I'm going to get is W and Y. W and Y. Okay. So these minterms, I am writing these minterms. I'm writing these minterms in a row wise, and the terms 2, 6, 10, 14, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 14, 15. I'm writing these terms in a column wise. 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15. Okay. All the uh, terms which has been given in the function, in the problem, all the terms are covered up here, right? And after solving, after coming to this step, what we have got? 3 minterms we have got. One is y z bar from the first row, from the second row w x bar, and from the third row w y. Okay. So here, this is what I have written, right? The min terms, what I have got, I have written them in a row wise, first row, second row, third row, and uh, the terms, these terms, 2, 6, 8, wherever I have got one, okay, wherever I have got one, 8, 9, 10, 11, all these functions I'm writing in a column wise. This is the fourth step. Now, let us go for the fifth step. What actually has been written, okay? Now, find the essential prime implicants by observing each column. Find the essential prime implicants. See, what is essential prime implicant? Wherever there is only a one single bit one is there, which cannot be grouped with some other one, is a essential prime implicant. Okay, so by observing each column, we need to find the essential prime implicant, right? Then, if the minterms is covered only by one prime implicant, right? Then it is essential prime implicant. See, if the minterm is covered only by one prime implicant, how I will show you now. Now this is what I have got the table from the above steps, right? Now out of this, what I will do, 2 is there. The value of 2 is, for this prime implicant, it is 1, correct? For 6 also it is 1, and 10 it is 1, and 14 it is 1. Now in this column, in the second column, in the value 2 column, there is only one single value is there. Bit value is 1. There is only single bit value is 1. And here in the 6 also, there is only 1. I don't have any value which can be gathered with, combined with this one. Okay. So here, these 2 and 6 are essential prime implicants. 2 and 6 are essential prime implicants. See, if I have written up here, you can see that the minterms 2 and 6 are covered only by one prime implicant, that is y and z bar. Okay, so, and it is not covered by any other implicant. Wx bar, it is not, the 2 and 6 is not covered by Wx bar. The same 2 and 6 is not covered by Wy, right? So what is, how it is covered? By only one prime implicant. So these two are essential prime implicants. The minterms 2 and 6 are essential prime implicants. These are yz bar, Wx bar, and Wy. These are prime implicants. And the minterm 2 and 6 are essential prime implicants. Why? Because they are not covered by some other prime implicant. They are covered by only one prime implicant. Okay. For example, I'll tell you in the next one, will be cleared. Now here, 8 and 9. See, Wx bar is the prime implicant. Out of that, the minterm 8 and minterm 9 are, the value of these minterm 8 and 9 are 1 and 1. And these 8 and 9 are not covered by some other prime implicant. They are covered by single prime implicant. Okay, so 8 and 9 are also essential prime implicants. Okay, then now check out 10 is there, 11 is there within this WX bar. Okay, so WX bar second row for the 10th 10 midterm 10 and 11, I'm going to write 1. But these ones are also covered by YZ bar as well as WY. The midterm 10 is covered by all three prime implicants. So this is not the essential prime implicant. The midterm 11 is not a prime is not a essential prime implicant. Why? Because it is covered by WX bar as well as WY. Okay, then I will go for third row. Third row is 1 1 1 1 WY 1 1 1 1. Okay, see, you know that how I'm going to write all these 1 1 1 1. Okay, from this table, from this table. Okay, the first row is 2 6 10 14. First row is what? Y Z bar. Previously I told. First row is Y into Z bar. Okay. The Y and Z bar are covered by 2, 6, 10, 14. So wherever 2 is there, I will write 1. Wherever 6 is there, I will write 1. And 10 is there, 1. 14 is there, 1. So the second row is WX bar. So this is the prime implicant, WX bar. Now, which are all the midterms it is covering? 8, 9, 10, 11. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and then the third row, it is W and Y. So WY is covered by 10, 11, 14, 15. So 10, 11, 14, 15. Okay, now out of this, I need to find. I will take only first row. Here, what are present? 1, 2 and 6, 10 and 11, 10 and 14. Okay, out of this, which are prime implicants? Sorry, essential prime implicants. Which are essential prime implicants? The mean term 2 and 6 are prime implicants. 10 and 14 are not a prime implicants. Sorry, essential prime implicants. Okay, these are not an essential prime implicants, and this is 2 and 6 are essential prime implicants. Are essential prime implicants. Okay, correct? Why? Because 2 and 6 are covered only by Y and Z bar. 10 and 14 are also covered by the next prime implicants. They should be single, no, for essential prime implicants. It should be covered by only one prime implicant. That is why it is called as essential prime implicant. So 10 and 14 are not an essential prime implicants. So in the next step, what I will do? I'll just remove the first row where 2 and 6 are also removed because only 2 and 6 are prime implicants from this YZ bar. Okay. Then what is remaining? WX bar. So now check whether WX 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, some changes. 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So here, see, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, eight, 9, 10, 11, 15. Okay, I will take only one row, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here, 10, 11, 14, 15. One more should come here. Fourteen also should come here. Okay, fine. Fourteen. Please come here. 10. Right. See now here. Okay. The same thing I have written. I have just removed the first column. Why? Because it has already been completed. From this first column, I have find out two essential prime implicants. So now here, from the second row and the third row, right? Now here 8 and 9 are there, are 1, 1, 10 and 11. So out of these, 8 and 9 are only covered by Wx bar. The 8 is not covered by Wy, or the neither the 9 is covered by Wy. But whereas 10 and 11, these two are covered by Wy, Wx bar as well as Wy. So these are not an essential prime implicants. Only 8 and 9 are essential prime implicants. 8 and 9 are essential prime implicants. Okay, and then I will remove this. Okay, 14 has already been done. So here I will be remaining with, actually this 14 single one has already been covered, here. 14 the y z bar and wy. Okay, so 14 is also not an essential prime implicant. So what will be remaining? Only 15. So 15 is an essential prime implicant. 15 is essential prime implicant. Why? Because it is not getting covered up with any other prime implicant. In a single table only you can get all the things. Okay, it is been divided here. Again, it is been divided here. So we will just remove whichever are already covered. Here 10 is covered, the yz bar, wx bar. 14 is also covered, yz bar, wy. So 10 and 14 we will remove in the next step. So we will be remaining only with 8, 9, 11, 15. 8, 9, 11, 15. Then 8, 9 are essential prime implicants. 11 is not essential prime implicant. And again, what will be remaining? 15. 15 will be the essential prime implicant. Right? So out of this, Out of this function, what was the function? Summation of 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15. So out of this, which are prime implicants? Out of these minterms, which are prime implicants? 10 and 14. 10 and 14 and also 11, because they are covered by other prime implicants also. Whereas, which are essential prime implicants? They are 2, 6, 8, 9, 8, 9, and 15. Okay, 15, right? So these are essential prime implicants. That is, these are not going to be covered by some other prime implicant. Only these are covered by some other prime implicant. These are single ones. Have you got how to find out an essential prime implicants and prime implicants? Right? This is what we have solved the expression of by using a Quinn-McCluskey method. F of wxyz equals to yz bar, wx bar, and wy. Maybe you may feel that the K-map is very much easy for this. The K-map is very much easy for this, but this is only a 4 variable. The K-map is also used only up to 6 variables. Whenever there are more number of variables, say for an example, 7 number, 8 number of variables, 10 number of variables, then K-map is also very tough. So this one is very much easy. The Quinn-McCluskey method is very much easy. Okay. Now I will share you the notes. Okay. Maybe in the till evening I have a time. I'll just collect the notes from the previous year where where there are the problems are also solved. The problems are also solved out. Okay, you can go through all each and all the problems, and you will be perfect once you practice all the problems. Okay, if you have not understood anything, you can ask me. This is up to the first module, completion of the first module. Maybe there is one more point that I'm going to cover in this first module, MEV, mapped entered variable, that we will see in the next class or after your IA. From tomorrow your IA is going to be started, so all the best for that. Okay, see that by today evening I'll upload the notes. You just take it, download from the Google Classroom. Okay, I have already given you the Google Classroom code. Join there and collect the notes. Fine, we'll end the session now.